Do you think there's a level of foreign meddling or foreign intervention in escalating the conflict between the sides in the U.S.? For example,
Yes,
potentially China.
I definitely do. But that's not surprising. You have a ruling elite in this country, specifically the Republicans and the Democrats, specifically the Bushes and the Clintons, who have chosen to sell out their country and its interest in return for lining their own pockets. Think about it. Somebody made the decision, maybe we should actually manufacture all of our best and most important prescription drugs in China. Maybe we should outsource all of that to China. Somebody made that decision. The strategic flaws in that decision are so obvious, but the money was so attractive that they didn't care about the country. They only cared about their interests. So I think that the principal country that is a problem for the United States today is the Chinese nation, China. It is not Russia. I'm not saying the Russians are sweethearts or that they are our friends, but I'm saying at least we have in common with them an opposition to Islamic terrorism. In the case of the Chinese, these people import virulent viruses to kill us. They steal our technology and our copyrights and our ingenuity online. They manipulate our currency. They infiltrate our institutions. China is our number one enemy in the world today. We have others, but China is not benign. One has to wonder why the media insists that Joe Biden, through his son, accepting $1.4 billion, that's billion with a B, does not compromise Joe Biden. How can he be a leader of the United States? How can he stand up to the Chinese when he's taken an enormous payoff from them? Oh, that's not true, you'll be told. Oh, that's irresponsible. No, it's not. It's completely true. His son is a drug addict, reprobate. Nobody in their right mind would pay him $1.4 billion. We all know where the money was going. This is a legitimate issue. Don't listen to the people at CNN who say there's nothing wrong with any of this. Everything is wrong with this.
That's actually a question I personally wanted to ask you, which is that we see that the Democratic Party in the U.S. Shifts attention constantly to Russia. And in reality, we understand, at least internationally in the world, that there is most nations outside the U.S. are hedging their bets between the U.S. and China, thinking that China will become the next world power, which is a concern for many people that care about freedom, because China has the largest concentration camps, I think, since World War II at the moment. Over 1 million people in concentration camps, what some people have called the genocide of the Uyghur people. And yet in the US, not much attention is focused on it. Is there, other than Joe Biden's son, do you think that there is a lot of Chinese payouts to the Democratic Party members or people on that side of the...
I don't have specific proof of it, but you have a hard time explaining why the people in that party, they won't stand up to Islamic terrorism in any way. They won't be realistic about the threat that China poses to us. It's not based certainly on principle. I mean, let's recognize, for example, just an example of the violation of principle. John Lewis, the one-time great civil rights leader, who unfortunately morphed into a political hack, spent most of his career opposing the war on drugs because it was used as a vehicle for the illegitimate mass incarceration of hundreds of thousands, at this point, if not millions, of Black people. Yet when Donald Trump put forward the first legislation to change this, John voted against it. How could you justify that? So in other words, just because Trump is for something, he was against it. That shows that he had no principles to begin with, that it wasn't really the fight that he was interested in. It's a perfect example. The leaders of the Democratic Party will not stand up for anything that their party traditionally stood for. the state of Israel was essentially founded under Democrat President Harry Truman. But the leaders of the modern day Democratic Party will not stand up for the only democracy in the Middle East and the only responsible and reliable ally that we have in the region. If you think the Saudis are our friends, you're dreaming. The Saudis play a double game with themselves, never mind us. They're on both sides of everything when they're not busy oppressing their own people.
And also dealing with China specifically.
No question.